I read this every morning for 5 years. And you know, whenever I had a problem the first 5 years, because my teacher wasn't here and I had nobody to teach me, I would just open this on any page. I just do this.
Oh, I like that.
And I always got the answer. It's like Tertu this morning was telling us she got an answer from the Bhagavad Gita. But these is like one reading per day. And this book is magical. And I haven't done it for years. And I thought, it's really nice if somebody would read it. Who would like to read it? Today's reading. 10th
Sure.
You
Yeah, neat,
Oh, let's hear somebody else's voice. It's nice.
neat glasses though, but anyway.
As in, you know, and then maybe you could go back to the 1st of January and see what they say. It's new year, right? New beginnings. Very exciting year for all of us. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Many changes. Watch it, people. But good ones.
You're talking about
Good one. Yes.
January 11 or 10? 10.
Today's the 10th,
10.
right? Yes.
Okay, oh, this is a nice one.
Okay.
Health is your birthright. Don't think that Hatha Yoga is just for athletes or for young people. It is written in the ancient yoga scriptures. Anyone who practices yoga properly and sincerely becomes a siddha, an accomplished one, be he young or old, weak or strong, or even very elderly or sickly. From prince to peasant, child to grandparent, ailing to robust, all can practice these yoga postures and get maximum benefit. Health is your birthright, not disease. Strength your heritage, not weakness. Courage, not fear. Bliss, not sorrow. Peace, not restlessness. Knowledge, not ignorance. The person with health and strength of body, soundness of mind, with morality and spirit is a real gem among all humanity. Such a one possesses the true treasure.
That's all of you, right? This year, let you go, right? And don't worry about illness. You know, I was so sick, right? And look, 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, it's like nothing happened, like a dream, isn't it? See, all life is a dream. 1 minute, oh my God, everybody was so scared. My son flew from Hong Kong. Mom, my dangerous operation. Next minute, with all your prayers, I'm sure of it, it went like clockwork. And I'm sitting here, it's strange, you see? The important thing is not to dwell, okay? Illness, these things happen, but if you practice these practices, like I said on the 22nd of December when I went to Gibraltar, I said, when you get ill or something bad befalls you, when you've been practicing for so many years, what happens to you? You just know what to do when you're feeling bad. You just get elevated. You know, I was telling them, I said, what happened to me when I came out of the operating theater? I was like, tubes everywhere. Tube with blood here, another one, and I looked, and I go, I'm in awful pain. You know what? I can't sleep, I can't do anything. All I have is the pain. So I just went into meditation mode and breathing mode. Then I realized I couldn't breathe because they had the tube on my diaphragm. So I go, oh, so they gave me oxygen. And then I could really do nothing. Everything is closed off. And I thought, okay, I can meditate. And that's when I was telling them, I started to receive lots of messages. So many that before I knew it, morning had arrived. So the worst pain and the worst night that was supposed to be in so much pain passed so quickly. And I thought, you know, I must tell people, practice, 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 practice. All those things are good and sad. And then when you do come to a bad time, you know how to get yourself up. And then because you don't dwell on the negative, and you don't, oh, so awful, it's this, it's that, then the gods help you. Because like attracts like, right? So, and it happens to all of us. We'll all get something in life as we get older. Always something. Isn't it wonderful? Don't ever fear anything that happens to you because it all comes for the best. But I do want to thank you for all your prayers because I am so convinced that's what made it so easy for me. So thank you. And I'm sorry I had to worry all of you. It was not my intention. But I'm really doing well, as you can see. So, and I wish you all a happy, happy new year. It's going to be a great year, isn't it?
Definitely.
Can you feel that?
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be
absolutely.
good? Yeah, good.
It will.
See, if you look with your heart, it's going to happen. If you don't, it's not.
No,
So
it will.
enthuse yourself. But it'll be a lot of change for a lot of us. And don't worry about that. Change is exciting. Okay? Not scary. Exciting. Even if it seems scary in the beginning, go for it. Better to change than sit your whole life on the fence saying, should I, should I, should I, should I? And if you have to lose something or suffer the loss of something, let it go quick. Don't hang on. Don't extend your own suffering. Alright? Don't extend it. And this is one of the messages I got when I was really sick. Why do people, I was told, suffering comes to all. Why do people want to hold on to it? Nalanie, you've got to tell them to stop holding on to the suffering. Because when they're holding on to it, they're not seeing all the good that's coming to them because they're too scared to move on. And anyway, we're all going to move on when we die, right? So why are you going to be frightened to move on for a little thing that is a human thing? Because everything has to move on anyway. We're all never going to see each other in the body when we die, but we'll see each other in the spirit. So it's going to move anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So the message was very strongly telling me to tell everyone, don't be frightened of change and moving on. Because if you make a mistake, guess what? It's never a mistake. At least you know you made a mistake and you can go back. And if you can't go back, you learn something new. You have a new adventure. So, next chapter of your book, New Year. I think it'd be a great, great idea this year if you all get a little pretty diary. Do any of you keep a diary?
Off and on.
Okay. You know, I buy the prettiest ones. It's off and on, but I carry it everywhere with me. You know? And I look back at my diaries, and it's so incredible. I see the last 20 years, it's all been one adventure after another, one travel after, and you forget. You forget these things. So when you look back, wow. So this year, if you can, start to write what we call a spiritual diary, a beautiful one. You know, paper, what is it called? Paper backs or paper something. There's some beautiful hardbacks. Paper chase. I know they're expensive. They're about £11, but they're beautiful. Then you want to look and you feel like writing. Because if it's aesthetically pretty, human beings like it. Yeah. You know, at least I do. I like pretty things, you know. It makes you excited to open the book. And you just put the date. If you have nothing to write, you put today's date or whatever day. And then you just write one line. Start with one line. Even if I had a really bad day. Once you start with one line, the rest will come. Where am I going? What am I doing? And what do I want from this life? Why did I have a bad day? Why did I have a bad day? Is this a repeated problem? Am I constantly repeating the same old patterns? Am I not changing? Is this what's happening? Why am I having a bad day? And you ask, and then you go to sleep. You throw it to the gods, you'll get an answer. And if you don't, open the golden present. Look at the message today. Did you hear that? Knowledge is your birthright, not ignorance. Health, not sickness. And even if it befalls you, you know, strong morality, good thinking, all these things, this is your birthright. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Because the world will. The world will tell you that you will not be happy unless you're this. If you fall into the rules of society. And do you think all of society is happy? Forgive me, society, I love you all. How many people do you see in society that are happy? How many do you see? So why you fall? Why is it the blind? We're like the blind leading the blind. You know, somebody told me yesterday, you know, I've really suffered. I don't even buy my Gucci bags anymore. Yeah, honest. Because, and really her soul wasn't that way, you see. But because all the friends around her had so much, and she suddenly lost everything and had nothing, she suddenly felt that her whole life was worth nothing because she couldn't have that Gucci bag. So all the talents, all her joy, the beat was gone. And this girl had a dynamic personality. So anyway, after an hour and a half, I realized she was very lucky not to have the Gucci bag because she had to change the chip in her brain. That God saved her from emptiness. Right? I mean, it's lovely. You can afford it. It's wonderful. I'm not against designer stuff. I love it. But if you can't afford it, everything simple is very beautiful too. You know, she made me a lovely necklace with a shell. I treasure it. It's in my jewelry drawer. It's beautiful. You know, and when you see it's really beautiful. So it's the love that you keep for all your heart and your life. So don't be afraid of loss, all right?
It's interesting what I said.
Sure,
Because
say
just
what
when
you
you were
need to say.
sharing the bit about the diary,
Yes.
you made life seem so exciting and so fulfilling. Just the picture of the pretty diary and writing. And then I was thinking, on the other hand, we're just chasing and running around. For what, you know? For the Gucci bag? And the feeling of the diary and writing triggered something.
Good, you love
That-
it. And if you want
No,
to
that
place,
it's just
you live
maybe
close.
about stopping.
Stopping. And if you ever want to live close by, you're welcome to this wonderful magical garden that you can sit and write. It's a magical. You sit there and you can just write. So, anytime. You want some place to escape to. Yes.
I also...
Happy birthday.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
birthday.
gefeliciteerd.
It was the 29th of December, so it's...
What was a big one?
It was a big one.
A
Big
big one.
5-0. Yes. No, about the diary as well. What I once did, which was very powerful, is to pretend that I'm already at the end of this year, looking back at what I've achieved, what I've done, and imagining how my year would be like. And then reading it on the 1st of January 2013 and see what has come of it, what I achieved, what I did not achieve. And sometimes it's also something that is already an imprint, because you've written it, what you really want to do and achieve in this year. And it's almost like it's already working, even if it doesn't, all of it materializes or realizes, it still is like a part of you that you're unconsciously working towards. So that may be also an idea. And
Absolutely.
it was quite exciting to plan already the year ahead.
Yeah. So when you write it, you know, when many couples, I see many couples, and they have big problems with communication. They just can't say things to each other. And I go, but why can't you tell the truth? No, because that person gets upset, they get cross, they get this, and it's not worth it, Nalanie, it's not worth it, the argument. So I said, you're so exhausted from the arguments, now you don't talk anymore. I think you're probably better off with the arguments than no communication. Because now you've lost your joy to live. Now you're just like, I can't be bothered. But you look miserable. At least when you were arguing, there was something happening. You're just miserable. And so I said, you know what you need to do? I can't talk. So I said, write. I've told many people, write a letter to your partner. But make sure when you leave it with him or her, because I've done it to both sides, you just disappear for like 24 hours. Not because of anything, but because you give it time for them to digest the words. They need time to digest the words. And make sure it's not hysterical, you're not blaming, you're not pointing fingers. You are just stating what is. Alright? And that's the important thing. You just state what is. Now, if you write a letter and you say it's all your fault because this, forget it. Don't bother.
Stay away for 24 years.
Yeah, correct. Now, this has made me unhappy. And that it also made me happy in these ways. It's not that I'm denying that, but this really affects me. I've tried to talk to you, you don't listen. Please, I'd like it to work. But it takes two hands to clap. Giving your best, my best. Throw the ball in their court. Always throw the ball in their court so you make them think and react. Okay? Because the problem is non-communication. So you want to entice them to react and communicate. So always throw the ball in their court. What's your feelings? I've told you mine. And I've been totally truthful. Tell me how you feel about me. But then you also have to be able to receive what they tell you about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's also because obviously there's something you're not seeing about you. So, okay, this is the way. Sometimes writing is quite incredible. And I've seen so many marriages saved from writing. Just writing. So, it's like Nirvana said, you know, when you write it down, it's like an idea in your mind. And we know, as you think, so yeah, get excited about this year. Because if you get enthused, then when you go home and you hear the news and you hear the credit crunch and everybody's saying no jobs, you go, but my life, I have a new chapter, it's a new year, it's a new month, it's a new day. I can choose to make my day a heaven or a hell. And nobody, guess what, can dictate it to me. Because that is the choice and the freedom I have been given. And you really put your hand on the table and say, that is my choice and my freedom. And nobody has the right to take away that joy from me. They only do because I allow it. I allow it. So, how much do you want your freedom and how much do you want your joy? And how much are you going to allow people to take away from you? Spiritual enlightenment is taking responsibility for everything that happens to you in your life. Everything. And it's also taking responsibility for being a victim. Because if you're complaining, you're a victim. So you take responsibility for the good and the bad. As long as you are a victim, you cannot find peace. I don't know why the world does this to me. Cannot find peace. Does it to everybody, my friends? Can't be a victim. Take responsibility. My karma? Okay, what's the solution? Always go, what is the solution? What is the solution? What is the solution? You can't find one? Try and read it in books. Can't find one? Go to somebody you trust and ask. But never let it go. You deserve the best. Do you deserve the best?
Yes.
Yeah, because when you're happy, everybody around you is happy. So you actually serve by being happy. You can serve and do good things, good deeds, but if you're miserable, they don't benefit. But when you're happy, that's the best service you can give people. Because when you're happy, you're not asking for other people to make you happy, because you already got it. And when they see you are free from being happy, they want it too. It's contagious. Become contagious, all right? You want to pass a virus? Pass that to him. And it's really fun. And it's a journey. So anyway, we go back to the Gita, which is a wonderful, wonderful book. Tertu was telling us this morning when she came to the Hatha class that she's really had a difficult time over this season. And she's lost 3 people and lots of problems with lawyers, etc. And she opened the Gita, and the page she came to was, you want to give them what you read, just that little part you read to us this morning.
With some line and highlight.
And highlighted.
Yeah, but I just had one day that I felt that like everything was coming, and I opened this book that I love, and it said to me, the first lesson is to know that everything is here to test you. Don't be deceived by it. Pass the test. You don't need to hate the test or the examiner. Don't hate the examiner, love him. Don't try to bribe him. If you bribe him, you deceive yourself. Don't hate the world, but know it well and say, this is just trying to pull me down. And having read that, I said that it will not pull me down.
You've got it.
Good,
Good
good.
for you.
Yes.
Good for
I
you.
said it's incredible. Every time I put something, I just open one page and it's there.
Yeah, great.
It's incredible.
It's an incredible. Well, that's why all the greatest thinkers use this. You know, all the greatest thinkers, so many poets, philosophers, read the Gita. It's one of the most incredible texts. So we'll go to Sutra 64, you told me, right? But the yogi who has disciplined the mind and has control of the senses can move about amid sense objects free of attraction and aversion, settling more deeply in tranquility. And there it is again. It tells us again, reminds us, when you're a yogi, what does yogi mean? What does a yogi mean? All of you. Who knows? What is a yogi? What is a
The
yogi?
person who's searching for or to unite itself with
Your higher self, the source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. That's a yogi. So when a yogi, because that's the journey of a yogi, has disciplined the mind through practice, right? You have to learn to discipline your mind. Then, look, the freedom that you get doesn't matter what happens. You can move around all the things like Gucci bags and Ferraris and, poverty or poor places in India or Nepal, and they're both the same to you. You enjoy it all. You love roughing it up, and you love the glamour too. You enjoy it all. You can move. Why? Because you don't need any of it. You watch it like you're watching a lovely movie. Oh, when you're in the good parts, they're all good parts anyway. They're just different parts, and that's what you see. So you can move amongst everything, and nothing can grasp you. You're free. And then you can be tranquil anywhere. And I watched my master do that. I mean, he was with the presidents. Clinton, Bush, he was with the Pope, and he's been with the poorest of the poor. Same. No difference. You could be comfortable everywhere. Alright? And this is the freedom. This is the freedom. And this is how we want to live. Happy everywhere. Yes, you have bad days. Who doesn't? But majority of the time, you stay happy. Tranquil. That's the word, tranquil. In that tranquility, all sorrows fall away because the intellect of a calm mind is soon secure in equilibrium. So look at that. When you are very calm, do you feel sorrowful? I just talked to you about the pain that I had when I came out of the operation. It was horrendous, right? And I was quite amazed that I could be in the pain and feel so calm. And I really, really thanked God and my master for the knowledge. I was like, I am so grateful for this knowledge because it didn't matter. It was this calmness that came. I didn't enjoy it because nobody enjoys pain. But there was a calmness. You see? Not happy, you don't like it, you're calm. And that's what we want to achieve. Calmness. There is neither wisdom nor meditation in an always changing mind. Oh, this is a good one. People are so fickle, haven't you? And please listen to this. Neither wisdom nor meditation in an always changing mind. So first know yourself. Do you constantly keep changing your mind? One day you're like this, and one day you're like that, and one day is this, and one day is that. If you see that's happening to you, know that your mind is not steady. Accept it. Take your mind and say, okay, now, why do I keep going? Because the only reason why you're always changing mind is why. See if you can answer that question. Why would
You're
you?
looking outside for...
You're still doubting. You still don't have that faith that all the power you need is inside of you. Everything is inside of you. And the divine has a spark inside of you that's connected to everything else. All the yogi books say, when you understand the microcosm, you understand the macrocosm. It's kind of like when you have a seed of a mango tree, right? If you have a seed of a mango tree, it's a seed, it's a seed, it's a seed, right? But within that seed, what is there? A huge mango tree. So, you can either leave the seed or you can plant it. And once you plant it, what do you have to watch it every day? Water it, look after it, put sticks around it when you first start, because the tree becomes very weak and doesn't have the power to grow. When it starts to get stronger, you can leave it alone more. You can let it go more. As strong it gets, you leave it absolutely alone. And then it deals with nature, the winds, the rain, the snow. And then at the end of it, when spring and summer come, it blossoms, and guess what? It gives fruit, and everybody can enjoy that delicious fruit, and all from a seed. And that's the seed that we all have inside of us. That's part of this cosmos, this universe, this entirety. It's in us, the seed. But it's up to us to nurture it. So, and people don't have the trust and faith in themselves. And this is why all the spiritual masters say, and Lord Jesus said, my Father and I are one. And you are all my brothers and sisters. Do as I do, and you will know. But what do? We do everything else. But we'll praise Lord Jesus, we'll go to the church, light the candles. Oh, Lord Jesus, you're wonderful. But we won't do as He does. We won't forgive, we won't be joyful, we won't spend our life in fulfilling this seed, because we believe everybody else can do it, not me. There is this deep distrust in ourselves that's come from many, many lifetimes. And even sometimes this one, maybe from your parents, whatever, but you don't blame anyone. You got all that. Probably you wouldn't be here if you didn't have all that suffering. So thank God for all these people who've hurt you, brought you right to this point. And then you just have to build that trust. When you build that trust, and then you make a decision, I am tired of always going everywhere. I'm going to stay put. And when I see myself going, yes, no, no, I'm going to train myself. And then you start training yourself. And then you find you become very free with that discipline. Self-discipline, I've always said, brings freedom. Because when your mind is in chaos and you can just, oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and there's no kind of, routine, sometimes you just go all over the place. Few days like that and you've lost your center again. This is why we say retreats are good, and this is why you come to satsang, to bring you back. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Would you? Why would you come on such a cold night? Because you want to go back to you. You know that. You want to go back to that knowledge. Because out there, so many people are like, oh, it's too much. Until you get strong, you need the sticks. And then you're around the stick area, so build up, build up, build up, build up. And imagine that mango tree inside of you. See it. So you water it every day with love, with kindness, with goodness, with, forgiving yourself for past. You have to start with forgiving yourself first. And that's all you have to do. Just love and be good. And if you have a bad day, you have a bad day. And forgive yourself. And next day, start again until you bring yourself, this is what I want to be like. Okay? Work. And it's wonderful work, because you don't need a psychologist, you don't need a doctor. You never get bored, because you keep learning about yourself. And if you learn about your own psychology, you start to understand everybody, the way the other minds work. Because microcosm. And what I realized in all these years of work, the more the books didn't teach me this, my patients taught me this. Everybody was suffering because they felt a lack of love. And why did they feel a lack of love? They didn't know how to love unconditionally themselves. They didn't know how to get there. Preconditions in the brain, so they need to break all that, see the love in themselves, and realize that they deserve the love, they are love, and then they could blossom, and then people can blossom. So allow yourself to blossom. And one of the things I always used, as I've told you, was the early days, God is with me, there is nothing to fear, God is with me, I'm not alone, I am so loved. I'm so loved, I'm so loved, and I feel it. I really feel it all the time. You know, I feel that there's someone loving me so much. Something. All the time. It's a really nice feeling. So start to build up that feeling, and then you're not so needy of things, and then you just start to develop, you become strong. And then the time comes, you don't even need to meditate, you don't even need to do hatha yoga, you don't even need to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because it's so there.
Still need to come here.
Maybe no. Who knows? If it's just to build up the energy for the world and this part of the world, that's what we do. That's why I make sure I try to be here for satsang. Because I know, like Lord Jesus said, when two or more gather together in His name, there will be an energy force. God is there too, that energy force. So satsang creates this goodness. So we create a field of protection around this whole area because it's vibrations. You just have to be a scientist and you'll know it. Study a little bit about physics. Ollie lent me a very interesting DVD called The Black Hole with a WHOLE, which I promised Gita I'll lend you, but we had somebody here the other day. Ollie told me to give it to him. I hope you don't mind. He's making me another copy and I'll lend it to
Put me on the list after that.
Okay, and it's all proven that there is, in science is proving that there is something in that black hole, that it's not nothing. And we're all one and we're all together. And it's really just incredible to watch science proving it. And guess what? In that black hole you find all these geometrical designs. Where do people paint them? Where do they, you go to churches, there's all these geometrical and the two triangles, and he's found mathematically that within that is all these beautiful geometrical designs. It's fascinating to watch. And you think, wow, we know nothing. And you keep your mind on these things, you'll never get bored with this earth and never get involved with the materialism. The rest is so boring, because it's so exciting to see all these discoveries. And then you really start to build up that faith in you. That's why it says read spiritual books. She had a really bad day, and if you know what she's gone through, you can understand. In the worst of days, she knew what to do. She picked up something to help herself. Rather than feeling sorry for herself, which most people would do, she picked up something. She knew exactly what to get.
Admirable.
Yes. Yeah, she's admirable. Admirable. And then she picked up and she did it. And she changed the chip in her mind. And so she changed her day. So you have to admire that. So these are the tools, and use them. So steady your mind with these tools. Steady, steady, steady. Are you really hot? Yes. It's really getting very hot. I think you might have to press twice. Yeah.
But Nalanie, that's the freedom, I think, we see in you. It's like you're able to feel but detach, and whether it's come from reading or the practices and the discipline that you've had, but I think what we see is the freedom that you have in the world.
Thank
as
you.
to why we keep on coming.
And you can develop the same. And you can have the same. Good. But what do you catch it?
But without the discipline,
you need the
have to
discipline.
put the work in. That's something you always say.
You have to put the discipline. You have to have quiet time for you. You've got to make that quiet time. I really noticed that quiet time is what energizes you. I get up every morning, now even earlier, 4, 3, whoa, I'm up to 3 hours, go back to sleep, get up again, and put mantras, and I get up in the morning and I go, I've slept like 15 hours, but I haven't, I've slept maybe 2 or 3. Last night I went to sleep at 11:30 and I wake up at 12:30, wide awake, because the sleep was so deep. So what do? Turn on mantras, meditate, have a conversation with the earth and the flowers and the trees, and look at the moon and the stars. Have a ball. I go back to sleep. Oh, look at the clock, it's 3 o'clock, And then you get so excited, it's 3 o'clock, I still got the whole day. And then you communicate with your soul, you talk to your soul. It's not that you're not sleeping, okay, there's something waking you up because there's something you need to experience or learn. I was
Or
telling
let go of.
Yeah, I was telling Shanti because you know when we go through menopause or whatever, and males do it too, huh? And you get to phases where you don't sleep at night. And most people come to me depressed because they get hot flushes, they can't sleep. So I told them, oh, you know, I did that for like 3 years when I went through my menopause 10 years ago. I said, you know what saved me? In those days I had a Walkman. I just listened to my master all night. I just put the Walkman on and his voice was so soothing. Didn't stress. I don't sleep. I have to work the next day. I used to work in those days and teach in the evenings. Don't worry about it. Just listen to it. Can't sleep means it's time to learn. Rather than struggling, and I see people struggling. Don't struggle. Yes, it's cold. Sometimes you don't want to get out of bed. Your body is still tired. Get something. Nowadays we have these wonderful machines. And you put it on, just put it on and just don't struggle. That's the thing. Do you see? Don't fight with yourself. Don't struggle. And when you see yourself struggling, I can't sleep, tomorrow I'm going to... This is what's happening now. And then you develop the trust in yourself that you can do this. If you can control your mind there, you develop trust. If you develop trust, you know that everything is happening to you, not to punish you, but to make you grow stronger. And that's the chip. Don't think of it as punishment or why is this happening to me? Immediately, okay, what can I do now? Now that I can't do this, what can I do next? Alright? Always ask, what can you do positive in that desperate moment, right? And you can see people can learn fast. I was also told, I know I sound really odd, forgive me, when I was really sick, that people can learn faster now. People who are on this path will and can learn much quicker. And then when I was told that, Ole came to see me with Kamala, and he said, you know, Nalanie, the Gita, many of the verses say the same thing. Maybe we can go a little faster. And I said, you know, Ole, you just confirmed the message I got when I was sick. You can. That's what I was told. And we need to go a little faster. We need to push ourselves a little bit more. Push yourselves a little bit more. You have to. Nobody will do it to you. You're grown up now. Children, we can encourage them with stories and, take them outside and give them many things. But as we're adults, nobody's going to push us. So we have to push ourselves. Okay, so push yourselves. Without a meditative, one-pointed mind, there is no peace. And without peace of mind, how can anyone be happy? We all agree. Like a ship tossed helplessly about by a gale, a mind subject to the roving senses loses all discrimination. And that's what you feel when your mind goes everywhere, don't you? You feel like you're just like a ship tossed here and there and there. And everything is controlling you. The winds are controlling you. No. Do you remember the story in the Bible when the disciples were on the boat with Lord Jesus? You know
Yes.
the story? Yes. And I actually have a marble plaque that says that. And they're all worried, how can he be sleeping when the sea is roaring and we're all going to drown? And they're getting really agitated and really frightened. And he just walks up and he goes, and what does he say to them? He said, my children, why have you doubted? Don't you know I'm here? What are you fearing? Something like that. I've forgotten the whole story.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, right? Yeah. And then they feel so ashamed, suddenly everything becomes calm. The state of the sea was a test for them to see if they doubted. They were around him constantly, saw so many miracles, and yet they still doubted. So the sea was a reflection of their own minds. So when Lord Jesus came with that peace and that tranquility, the sea, his power was so great that the sea became calm. It's just, this is a power they call it a siddhi, like he read today. You develop these siddhis, these gifts that you can actually calm the situation when you are working in this energy field. Alright? It's possible. It really is possible. So I told Shanti that, and last night she didn't sleep, but she didn't come at all agitated. And today you have a long day, nothing, very relaxed, very happy. Because she's very good. You give her information and she practices it, you see? Many people, you give information, they don't practice it. So practice it. When these senses are completely withdrawn from the sense objects, Arjuna, the mind is poised perfectly. It's basically repeating the same. What seems night to others is the state of awakening for one with a mind thus disciplined. And what appears day to others is as night to the sage who knows the self. So, in other words, he's saying, for a person who has the wisdom, nobody would understand what they consider night is day to you, and what they consider day is night to you. Because they won't understand where you're coming from. You see things from a totally different level, totally different way of being. So, and that is exactly what happens.
And that can cause the complication, because more knowledge I feel like gain, and more I read my books and whatever, you start seeing people around you so differently. And you feel like you can't, but you feel like saying, but why are you doing exactly like you say? Going here, there and everywhere, everybody restless, and they feel so much being alone.
Yes.
Because they fear their inner feelings, because there's no peace.
There's no peace, yeah.
And they have to have TV on, radio on, everything blasting, because the silence is too much.
Many people cannot do silence.
Yes, and it's incredible how you start seeing it yourself in them, and feel like saying, oh,
Yeah. You know what you do? When you see yourself in them, you fill your heart with compassion for them. And when you feel the compassion for them, you understood what it was like because you were there, then you just want to love them. That love can shift their consciousness. Right?
Yeah.
Advice cannot.
And that's why the nights are bad. As you said about sleeping, the nights are bad for the people, because during the night everything is scary, and they scare their feelings, and that's why you said to me once about sleeping that just get on with it, don't think about it, do something, and it's so true. Then you wake up refreshed.
Yeah, you do.
It's a panic comes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When you practice, you get the results, right? I don't do it, you do it. I can only do it for me, right? So you gotta do it for you, and I really know you can. You just have to see it. You just have to trust yourself. You really, if I didn't think you could, do you think I'd come here every Tuesday? For no reason. I'm really very happy, The only reason I come every Tuesday and Wednesday is because I know you can. I just have to remind you enough times, and then one day it'll happen, and I know it will happen, and it just will. What can you do? Don't worry about it. The next one. Someone with personal desires will not experience true peace. But when all the desires merge, like different rivers flowing into a vast, deep ocean, then peace is easily realized. Someone with personal desires will not experience true peace. Now this is very much misunderstood a lot, this sloka. People think that, oh my God, that means I can't want anything in life? I can't want anything? I will never have peace? What it's saying here is when the desire is like, I want to satisfy my body, or me, I want this for me, those kind of desires, it's all about, if I don't have this, I can't be happy. Those kind of desires will never make you happy. They really won't. Because if you notice when you are unhappy, it is when it's a personal desire. Now, the desire to help a friend in need, does that make you happy? Peaceful? It does, doesn't it? Isn't it odd that? And like and some desires I really don't don't bother you in any way. Do you want, like, for example, a nice hot cup of tea? Is that wrong? No. These are not, that's not what it means. If you want a good home, is that wrong? No. You can want everything, and you should have everything. It is our birthright. But the personal desire is, if I don't get it, I'm not going to be happy. I'll give you a story about somebody I knew many years ago when I first started yoga, maybe teaching for 2 or 3 years. And she was a very wealthy lady, lived in Morocco, and she came to Gibraltar and she came to see me. She brought a whole group of people, very wealthy too, and she was talking about, I know this one, I know this one, I know this one. And she goes, you know, and I said to her, I said, you know, why are you basing your life on all these people that you know? It seems like you have no peace. And she said, Nalanie, how dare you say that to me? She got really upset. I said, because I care for you. And I see you're so agitated. I know this one and I know this one. And when I go back to Morocco, I have to build this house, I have to build this house. So anyway, her husband had a business in Morocco. And she was like, every day, I want to build this house, I want to build this house. So nothing wrong with wanting a nice house, but she drove him a little crazy because she wanted marble like all her friends, and she wanted all the best of everything. He worked so hard because he was madly in love with her. He was quite young, madly in love with her. He did anything for her. So he did build her the house. Beautiful, exactly like she wanted it. She fulfilled the desire. 2 days after he built the house, came home, had a massive heart attack and died. 2 days. It was almost like he did to give it to her, and then was in out distress. What happened to her? Young lady in Morocco, alone, in such a big house. Where was her son? 18 years old, in university in London. That beautiful big house that caused her husband so much grief and hard work. It was only good for 2 days. And then she had to sell it. She couldn't live in Morocco anymore. So, you know, she actually told me this. She actually met me in another country when we were traveling. She actually told me, you were so right. And I said, I didn't even know. I just saw you unhappy. You know, at that time I didn't have much knowledge. I was just like, you know, a real novice. I just could see she was so agitated with all this, I have to have this, I have to have this. No, you don't understand. I don't have these people as my friends. You don't understand this home. You just don't understand. You're living in Gibraltar, you've lost your mind. You know, that kind of thing. She really thought I was crazy. You know? So, and you know, watching, and this is the kind of personal desire we're talking about, right? Having a desire to have something nice is not a problem. In fact, it's good. Why shouldn't you, like I said, pretty things and nice things? Why not? But don't allow the desire to become an obsession, And don't take it so personally if it doesn't come also. If it doesn't come what you want, don't take it personally. It's not personal. Don't be so personal. So what? You don't get everything you want, probably because it's not good for you, like this lady. She forced it, you see? She forced it. She forced it, and then the person got sick. So, but you say, but when all your desires merge like different rivers flowing into a vast deep ocean, what happens as you grow in spirituality? We start to realize that we are more and more one. So you start to realize that if your family is not happy, you are not happy. You start to realize that when people around you are not sorted, there is a dysfunction somewhere. You start to see the imbalance, right? So what happens to you? You start to see your desire, their desire, which desire, doesn't really matter. It's like you become one with the world. So then the difference is you work for the benefit of everything. Your heart can't help it anymore. Because your desire, like I said, you know, when you see people that you recognize yourself from before, as you grow, you just feel so much compassion for them. You just want to love them and hope that they get over this bad patch. Because your desire, their desire becomes your desire. It's all merged as one. And you see them happy, and you feel happy for them. it doesn't become separated anymore. Everybody becomes your family. It's like, let everybody be happy. That's the kind of feeling, and that gives you great freedom, because it's not personal. It's not personal anymore. It's really quite interesting when that happens naturally. And one of the signs is developing compassion, right? You'll notice you're growing spiritually when you develop compassion. You notice. And you're not thinking, oh, this is happening, why is this? You're not thinking like that at all. Those thoughts don't come into your mind anymore. It's really quite nice when they leave you.
May I ask something?
Sure.
Maybe sometimes it's difficult to distinguish the difference between people pleasing and working for the greater good, or making a decision for the greater good. So I sometimes get caught in that. When am I just pleasing the other to see the other happy, or when am I working for everyone instead of just you, it's us, or instead of me, it's us.
You know, when you're people pleasing, it's almost like you have to fight against yourself. Just like, you know, you want so much. You want something in return. You want some kind of result. You know, that's kind of, I'm doing this to have a result, But if you can't, you can't. It's always trying to make the other person happy, but if you can't, you can't. And how do you know? You're not comfortable. You're struggling, you know. When you're helping the world, you feel really peaceful.
Yeah.
And you know, like today I sent a really rude email to somebody from a yoga center. It's rude. I was really happy I did it. It's making me so much trouble. And you know, I'm not going to, I sent gentle, and then get this, I said, you know, I'm not taking this, finish. And really can't be bothered, you know. Trying to help you, you can't see it and always put another obstacle and another obstacle. You know what? I just told her straight, don't want to help you anymore. This is the last time, or kind of like that, right? And what happens? Immediately I get back an email, so sweet, so nice. So she knew I wasn't going to take that nonsense, do you know? Now, people pleasing would have been, okay, I'm sorry, there was a misunderstanding. But it wasn't a misunderstanding. She's trying to make it like it was. I know it's this, and let's try this. And no, this is nonsense. You know, I'm trying to make life easy for you, trying to make it difficult for me. I'm not taking it anymore. Full stop. That kind of thing. Do you see? You know, because if I had sent a really sloppy, nice email just to be a nice yoga teacher, right? What would have happened? I wouldn't have been comfortable with myself. I would have been a hypocrite because I didn't feel like a nice yoga teacher. I felt like, what you done is wrong. Enough. I thought it was nonsense. Do you see? Then you're not people. Reaction? I didn't expect such a nice reaction. I thought you'd never talk to me again. I was really quite shocked. Shanti was with me, so she knows the whole process, you know? So sometimes when you people please, you actually prolong a bad situation. Yeah? But when you tell them straight, you get so surprised that they react so wonderfully, so beautifully. And immediately I saw that email and I go, sometimes you have to be a little stray, and that's the difference. Because I wasn't being nasty to be nasty. I was being nasty for the good of all, because the project was not for me, it was for the good of all. I was trying to make it easy, you know?
Maybe we should add that Nalanie's rude. When she thinks she's being rude, she's just expressing with a lot of love to say enough. It's not maybe, or should I say, my way of being rude.
Thank you.
So we come back to
Thank you.
sharing to be able to say enough is enough
Yes.
from a place of love,
From place of
and to
love, yes.
say you're not disturbing my peace anymore.
Correct.
For
No
you,
nonsense.
that's probably being rude, but I think it's actually very kind
Oh,
to
thank
say,
you.
yeah, am I right?
Yeah. But then you're not
because I want to have
people-pleasing.
it clear, because sometimes I think we're all faced with the moment of saying, well, we have to. I mean, we all feel like friends abuse our kindness or vice versa, no? Because we're also in the other side at times, and our friends can feel that we're abusing them.
Correct.
So, but it's how to say, look, this has hurt me, I need to share it with you, and it's enough. I
didn't even go that emotional route, that this and stuff, and I said, you know what, I was trying to help you, but if you don't see it that way, no problems, never doing it again, finish, that kind of thing. very kind of non-attached.
That's I think better way to be.
I like it.
Very non-attached. Don't
I
go
like
into emotions.
I think in a way what you're doing though is
You're trying to
letting
please
giving
the
the
way
other
you
people
say.
a chance to see
Yes.
how you
Just be
feel.
clear. Just
Because
be
if it's all
clear.
niceties, they don't know how you're feeling about it.
That's right. That's right. Just
Otherwise,
clear.
it's pleasing again if you keep going on.
Yeah. And don't
And
go
they have
into.
no idea that
Yeah.
you're getting already uptight about it.
Yeah. You see, men are better at this actually than we are. You know, they have a gift that they don't go. Most men don't go into this.
We are much ruler, that's it.
More direct.
What did he say?
We are much
Direct.
ruler.
Yeah.
More what, Ricky? More?
We are much ruler than you guys are.
Much
I
ruler.
think that's
And we suffer, you know, because we say they're so rude, but when we feel the way, we don't say the truth, we just get angry. You know? We just say, well, this is rude too. We just react the same way as they do. There's a little bit of balance, and they go, oh my God, she doesn't let me manipulate her. No, you don't. You're straightforward. No, oh, poor me, emotional. I need romance. I need this. Oh, I go, oh my God, not again. There's a record, you know? You know? And you need romance, be romantic. Full stop.
Instigated.
Yeah, instigated. Be it. Be strong. Be powerful. People love that energy of power. Nobody likes weepy, needy. You know, ugh, stay away. You know, Gurudev used to say, the more you chase something, the more it runs away. He always used to say that. And then people chase money, chase this, and money goes. You know, and so don't chase anything. Sit there, and they'll just want to give it all life and want to give it to you. You just have to be peaceful. Because you're not grabbing it. You know, I want this, I want this. You know the universe is going to give you everything you need. Full stop. Everything you need. That's all you have to know. You're going to get what you need. And you know, if you don't get extra, so what? A little struggle is good. You'll understand more of the world. You won't take things for granted. Gives you a bit of discipline. You know, the mind is, you know, what Gandhi said, when you have too much, your mind is always thinking, always worrying. You have too little,
Same
always worrying. Yeah. Just stay in the middle is the best place to be. Anyway, you know, don't you find when you get too many things, like in sometimes in Christmas time, this year was great, we made a deal that nobody would give all the yogis, we'll give it to charity, great, right? Don't you think that when you see so many things after you open all your presents? Have you ever noticed you feel a little sick? Where do you put all this stuff now? You see all the puzzles and then you go, oh my God, what do I do with all of this now? Have you ever felt that? Actually having too much. You know? It's just like feeling like it's just way too much. Where do you put it? What do you do with it? It's all lovely, it's all nice. You come out, you got it, but go on computer, enjoy your class, and thanks for helping.
You know, become an obligation to.
Yeah.
With Christmas, oh, you got your lists, but I think that if we just get rid of that idea and say, okay, if I want to give someone a gift, I'm going to give someone a gift.
That's
If I don't
right.
receive a gift, I don't receive a gift. It's like every day is Christmas, but it's whenever you feel like you want to shower someone with gifts, and not
Yes.
especially on the birthday or with Christmas. It becomes like, it's not nice anymore. People have expectations. And
It's the expectations, you see? And
Yeah.
then when you have too much
it's
also,
not a
it's like,
surprise anymore.
and look how many
Yeah.
people said over Christmas they've eaten
Yeah.
too much. How many people have told me the last time, eating too much, I don't feel well, Nalanie. I feel like so heavy, I feel so uncomfortable, I don't feel good. See, we do it to ourselves. Why do you do it? Why can't you eat the same as you do? Yes, there's lots of nice things, but you don't have to put it all in your mouth. You can say no. You can spoil yourself. Okay, maybe I'll have one slice of this, and maybe I'll have one chocolate. Or, you know, Christmas, I'll spoil myself. I'll go for 2. That's okay. But people don't have 1 or 2, they have 10. And that's the problem. Indulge. You know, anything that you just super indulge makes you ill. And you actually feel this feeling in your stomach.
We all follow this, I have to have, I have to do. Why?
Exactly.
I said to everybody nothing. I said at home alone on Christmas Eve. I said, why I have to go somewhere? I didn't have my family with me. I said, why I have to? I was in peace. I was happy with my candles. Why I have to? Everybody said, but you have to. I said, I don't have to do anything.
A lot of people have
Deprogramming, huh?
quiet Christmas this year.
Quiet there.
Yeah, and many people this year have told me that they would prefer to stay at home, quiet, nothing fancy, and very peaceful. It was a nice transition to see. At least many of the yogis that I knew this year, there was like a change in the chip. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be, it just has to be peaceful. You know? All that struggle. No need. So that's what it means, all the desires merging as one. And here is really underlined like you. Peace is experienced by anyone who lives without longing for anything, free of all personal desires, and no individual sense of me and mine, and this belongs to me, and this is mine, you know? And you have total peace when you don't hear yourself saying me and mine, you have total peace. Watch yourself. I remember the early years of practicing. Every time I got a little irritated, I would hear, oh boy, it's me again. Never blame anybody. I want my husband to stop smoking. I want my husband, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, it's what I want. I want him to be like that. I want him to tell me he loves me every day. I want. And I used to listen to myself say, of course you're miserable. Stop the I wants. What do you do? I really want it though. What do I do with it? I used to cry to myself in my head. So accept it and stop being a wimp. I just tell myself that. You can become a wimp or you can become strong. It's up to you. So, okay, I can't have it in this direction. So, you know what? I am going to give love to the world. And to fulfill that empty hole, it worked. And of course, when he was diagnosed with cancer, every day he was telling me, I love you, I love you, I love you. You know what? I got so used to knowing that he loved me without saying it. I thought, Tony, you don't have to say it anymore, please. I can't handle it, I told him. I got so used to knowing. Because when you become strong in yourself, you know when people love you. You don't need to hear it anymore. It's the childishness in us, all these soap operas that tell you what you have to do. You know. You know, I mean, which man would, you know, I meditate 5, 6 every morning for how many years? Come, knows I love a cup of hot water. Bring me a cup of hot water by my bedside. Just when I'm about to finish, he always knew. Hot water by my. For years he did that. Which man, when you break a leg, you know, and he knows I love tub baths and I don't like showers because I used to feel cold. Now I've changed. He put a plank, he built a plank for me, he'd wash my hair for me, and put me in the tub gently. But isn't that love? Why did I need to hear I love you? Do you know what I mean? And then when you start to not become so wimpy, you see the truth. That's love. Why do I want somebody to announce it to the world? That's only ego. That's all ego. You know? And all these silly notions. You know? But then you really appreciate what is real love. And then you see the sincerity in a person who really doesn't have to say it, but he does it. It's real. That's real. It's very easy for people to say. And how many times have I seen in relationships, people tell the other, I love you, I love you, I love you. They don't do anything for that person. What kind of love is that? Very easy to talk. Very easy to say, I love you, sit on the sofa and feed me, look after me. Easy to do. Very easy. Why would you want that anyway? So you get a bit clever when you stay away from I, me, and mine, because why? You see the global picture rather than the personal picture. While you're saying, I want him to be like this, or I want her to be like this, or I want life to be like this, it's too personal. You miss the big picture. So, and it's just changing your way of thinking. That's all it is. And that's all I did. I prayed for help. I prayed for help to change my way of thinking because I understood very clearly my way, I, me, and mine never brought me joy. So why do I have keep repeating the same pattern? Why am I repeating the same pattern if it never brings me joy? Change the pattern. The only person that can change it is me. So change the language. I said, we. Why don't we do this? What do you think a we is of I, me, mine? I actually watch my vocabulary change. Oh, this is mine. Oh, sweetheart, this is ours. I did the sale. You know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done the sale. Together we did it. Because he would do most of the sale with me. I would take the credit because the customer came to me. Do you know? it's like these childish little ego things that take away the peace and the joy. And so I used to notice, I'm doing it, I'm doing this. And then you change the chip yourself. And when you do, you feel very happy because the mind's not miserable anymore. Odd. We were born to love, we were born to serve. We were not born to take for ourselves. It doesn't give us joy. It was so truthful what my master said. Be like the apple tree. It grows, and when the apple is ripe, it just gives its fruit. That's all. Be like that, and you will find total harmony and peace. And he was absolutely right. So when you take these truths and then you practice with your mind, talk to yourself, practice with your mind, that's why you need the silent time. Not only just sit and meditate. That's impossible to do. Meditation, didn't say, is not possible in an ever-changing mind. So first of all, fix the ever-changing mind. Know why it's ever-changing. It tells you right here. And fix that, and then meditation will come easy. No struggle. And while you're fixing it, it's quite exciting because you give yourself a huge challenge. You are giving yourself a huge challenge. Don't you love a challenge? Then your life becomes an adventure. And if you fail, the only thing you have to do is, okay, I'll do it next time. Don't beat yourself up. That's all I say. I didn't. I failed. What can I do? I'm human. Next time. I failed. What can I do? Next time. Never lose hope. Okay? And that's the secret. So the last one in chapter 2, I'm going a little faster today. This Arjuna is the absolute state. On experiencing it, there are no further questions. If established in this awareness of the time of bodily death, there is just the merging into the oneness of God. So, once you understood that, then you have no more questions. You don't ask any more questions. It's just, you know that you know that you know certain things. And you know that you will never know certain things in this mind. They're too fast. But there are no more questions. It doesn't really matter. Because the whole universe is in here. And every day brings a new lesson and a new adventure. The problem with a lot of spiritual people is they get such a huge ego. They want to show people they know it all. And I think that's a real downfall. Because how can you know it all? Look at the universe. Look at the vastness. And if you look and know it all, then life becomes very boring, doesn't it? Hey, you know, to look for something new to learn, you know. And this is the excitement of life. So turn your mind towards bigger issues and keep away from the smaller I-me mind, which is so petty. You know, watch documentaries that inspire you, or movies that inspire you. Things that make you feel, this inspires me. And then you grow rich in yourself. You know, you know something is going to disturb your mind. You know your weaknesses, but you still want it. Tell yourself, do I really want to put myself in the same pattern again? Do I really want to repeat this again and again and again? Am I not tired of the same pattern? Who is doing it to me? Nobody. I am doing it to me. Take total responsibility. That is your freedom. Nobody to blame. There is no blame. It's all learning anyway. And that's what you start to realize. There's nothing to blame. It's all a huge lesson. And all these lessons, guess what? Take us to appreciate that we are eternal, and that we will never die, and that while we are here, time is so precious because we can feel, we can touch, we can laugh, we can taste, we can love. It's quite an adventure, isn't it? Life in itself. Let us enjoy it. Every day, a new chapter, a new book. That's why I said keep the diary. And when you look at it as an adventure, every day something new will happen to you. You will learn something. You don't even have to go out. I was hoping to get to understand more about physics, and he brings me this DVD when I'm sick. Oh, Nalanie, you'll love this documentary. It just comes. And I wanted to learn more about special needs. Obviously, I want to expand my knowledge, but no time to study. When I'm sick, Lakshmi from Portugal comes, bring me 5 movies on different types of special, good movies, good actors. There's one with Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio when he's 16. Acting is phenomenal. How a brother looks after his special needs child, brother.
Yes,
And then
very good.
Have you seen that one?
Yes.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Maybe you can pass the title so that we can.
Yes, because they're not
see-
mine. I gave that one to.
No, yeah, so that we can find them and
Yeah.
buy them or
Well,
whatever.
I have them for like till Lakshmi comes on the 14th of February, so you're welcome to borrow them. I'm sure she
Because
will.
it's nice to
Yeah.
see, inspiring.
So there it comes to me. What I want, what I was thinking in my mind. I really would like to learn more. You know, I always tell my daughter, but I only know like mitochondria. But I really would like to learn Down syndrome and maybe autism. But I really would love to know how it is to live with that all day long. And then you see the emotions, and I think this is what my daughter is going through every day. I can have more compassion and give her more. You know, so it just happens. Whatever you want to learn just comes. Just comes. You don't even have to go and get lessons. And what a nice way to learn through a film, right? So eat better than some of these lectures because they can be a bit cold. But the film really shows you the whole picture. So this is what the adventure of life brings. When you look at it that way, you get your answers. And when you think, and this is what I loved, and I'll finish with this, when my master said to me, why you spiritual people got such huge egos, you think you know it all. When you make a mistake, you know what you did. He goes, don't you know that goddess Saraswati is one of our Indian goddesses? And she's a goddess with the 4 arms, and she's got mala beads in one hand, which means she's constantly doing her mantras. And then she's got a book in the other, which means she's constantly learning. And if a goddess is still learning, you think you know it all, you know? And I remember his words. And I see that is the fall of many, many spiritual teachers or aspirants because they don't humble themselves to life. Life is an energy. When you humble yourself to life, life gives you. You know, I always say if you want a glass of water, you have to put the glass down and the bottle has to go above to pour. But if the glass is here, you can't pour the water. There's nothing to pour to. So this is how we change our lives.